In this episode, I want to talk about why I believe life is best lived as a great adventure. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Though we travel the world to find beautiful, we must carry it with us or we won't find it." Let me explain what I believe he's talking about. Several years ago, my wife and three of her friends went on their first ever girl cruise. When she came back, she was so excited. She talked about the ship and the food and the entertainment and how wonderful all the excursions were. And what do you think she wanted me to do? Book a cruise. And so I did. A few months later, we booked an 8-day cruise and I hated it. Here we are, middle of a beautiful adventure, but all the chaos in my mind clouded my vision. Couldn't see it. I spent the whole time thinking about work. I was thinking about the market. I was thinking about how unfair it is that everybody else gets paid time off and being self-employed, I don't. And I just couldn't relax. I couldn't see the beautiful all around me. And so what I think Ralph Waldo Emerson is saying is a meaningful adventure, just like a meaningful life, is not a destination as much as it is a journey of discovery. And what we see along the way or don't see is tied to our state of well-being. You know, you could define adventure as something unusual, exciting, even dangerous. And so what that tells me is that every adventure starts with some kind of risk. And risk implies that something might go wrong, but it also tells me that if everything works out, we're going to have an incredible story to tell. You know, more than 30 years ago, I took a great risk. In fact, at that point in my life, I was done with love. I hadn't had the best luck. The first girl I gave a promise ring to, I went away for some Army training and came back. She broke up with me. The next girl I gave a promise ring to, well, she didn't break up with me, but her dad broke up with me for her because he didn't think I was good enough to marry his daughter. And the truth is, at that point in my life, I was a knucklehead, but I was done with love. Several months go by and it's lunch, and I had left the office to pick up lunch for myself and a group of guys, and I'm standing at the light and I'm waiting for it to change when all of a sudden I look across the intersection, and just as the light changes, here comes this young lady with this teal green cowboy wrap skirt and white blouse, and the wind's blowing through her hair, and there wasn't music, but there should have been music, right? So I go to cross the street and I take one step and I stop, and I'm just watching her walk towards me, and as she gets closer in my head, I'm like, I gotta figure out something to say, and the only thing I could think about was, can she hear how fast my heart is beating? Somehow we had a conversation and everything went well. You're probably wondering how that risk worked out. Well, last month we celebrated 31 years of marriage. Here's the problem with any great adventure. Here's the problem with living the life you want to live. There will always be risk. And when I first had the idea about creating this channel, I was hoping to also create a community where we can not only talk about incredible destinations, but I want to help people understand what it takes to build a beautiful life. We're going to talk about some incredible places to visit, and sometimes we're going to talk about how to overcome all these different barriers that keep people seeing the beautiful in the journey. So if you like what we talk about today, if you're interested in being a part of a community like this, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share with others that you think would also enjoy being a part of this journey with us. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about how to create more meaningful memories so that the next time you're with family or a group of friends, you will have some great stories to tell. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. An anonymous person once wrote, "The danger of adventure is worth 1,000 days of ease and comfort." So this week, be a risk taker, and until next time, remember to roam well.